to welcome everyone. The last time James Patterson was here, the library speaking, was 3 years ago. The library is brand new, and the parking lot was not yet finished.
And I was younger. I was so much younger.
unlike the rest of us. But in those 3 years, we have finished the parking lot, and Mr. Patterson has written about, I think, 25 books. That may actually be conservative. We have both a writer and a reader here. I think our writer probably needs no introduction to this group. Let me quickly ask, how many of you have ever read a novel by James Patterson? That's that's good. How many of you read more than one novel? How many of you read every one of the novels he's written? All right. We have some experts in the crowd. Our writer needs no introduction, but I will introduce you to our reader who is not yet written a book. Is that right, Alex? Okay, Alex is not yet written a book? Okay, not yet written a book. Alex Carazone is going to be a 5th grader at Roosevelt School in September. He is a musician, a dancer, an athlete, which is how I met him because he happens to play on the Little League team that I helped coach, the Hudson Valley Huskies. We have a few other Huskies in the crowd. And one day this spring, Alex and his mom, Kristen, who's the proud mom in the second row there, were talking about books. It's always a good thing to talk about. And she mentioned that Alex had read all of James's Maximum Ride series and Daniel X series. No? Yep, Daniel X, excuse me.
All right, let's get a new kid up here.
There's something to look forward to. So, that simple conversation led us to where we are today. What we're going to do is this is going to be a conversation. I have a few questions. Well, Alice and I are going to take turns. I'm going to defer to him mostly. Then we're going to open it up to the readers in the audience. We'll take about maybe 45 minutes to do that. Then we will allow Mr. Patterson to sign some books and allow our friends from the Village Bookstore in Pleasantville to sell some books. I should point out that when authors come to the library, we do not pay the author. We do sell their books, and the Village Bookstore in Pleasantville donates 10% of the sales to the library. So it's a way of supporting both an author and the library, and literature in general. Oh, we have a lot of events today. We have a raffle. Linda, should we do the raffle now, or build the suspense? Build the suspense. There is okay. One other little piece of another advertising announcement. So, those of you who are not yet members of the Library Associates are welcome to join. That's the Library Friends Group. Membership starts at $5. And if you're not a member and would like to join to help support the library, see me afterwards. I have a simple membership form. With all that, I'm going to ask the first question, if that's okay. And then we'll begin the conversation. I happen to have a book here named Scout, Atticus, and Boo, a celebration of 50 years of To Kill a Mockingbird. Some people are laughing because they know that my wife wrote the book. So a little bit of self-interest there. But one of, by Mary Murphy, always good to mention the author's name. One of Mary's subjects about this, talking about To Kill a Mockingbird, was James Patterson. And you talked about when you were a kid, you did not like to read much. Generally true? Is that true? And,
yeah,
I guess it leads to a question.
Relatively, yes.
Did you not read did you not read the kind of books that you now write for kids? Were there books like that? Did you not know about them?
I pretty much read, and it's ironic because my mother was a teacher. I knew that I needed to do well in school because I desperately wanted to get out of Newburgh. But and now I want to get back. Now I like it very much. But I didn't read a lot. I played a lot of sports, and I think the books that they gave us in school just didn't turn most of us on, and I wasn't stimulated by my parents to read. And that's a big deal with me. I do think that it's the job of parents to find books for their kids. I think it's a big job, and I think it's an important job. I mean, that's what we did. My son Jack is here, he's 12. really try to make sure that we found books that we turned them on. Because there are millions of kids in this country who've never read a book that they liked. And I wouldn't say that I was exactly there, but I hadn't read very many books.
Do you like the e-readers, like the Kindle and the Nooks, better than regular hardcover books?
I think they're terrific. It doesn't really matter what we think of them because they're a fact of life now, and they're going to become a bigger fact of life. I think that in particular, young people really are getting used to reading on screens. They like it a lot. So the e-book thing, that phenomenon is going to get larger and larger and larger, I think. And right now, I mean, the good thing about it, or one of the many good things about it, is one, I mean, you have an e-reader, you can go on an airplane and bring 100 books with you, essentially, and it weighs like 11 ounces or 9 ounces or 15 ounces. They're very light. But also, if somebody tells you, like if you're here and somebody told you about a book and you had an e-reader with you, you could buy it and it would be downloaded on your machine within 45 seconds. So sometimes, we're thinking, well, I want to buy this book or I want to go to the library and get this book. And by the time you get around to doing it, you've forgotten what the book is. So I think there's a lot of good things about it.
Do you ever use yourself as a character in your books?
Do I ever use myself as a character in my books? No, I think there are some similarities between Alice Cross and I. We're both African American. We're tough. We're fair. No, I actually do find some parallels with Alex, but for the most part, no. I was in advertising for a while. I worked in advertising. I met a lot of serial killers when I was working.
What is your favorite book that you've ever written?
What's my favorite book that I've ever written? I really like different books for different reasons. I'm very happy that I created Alex Cross. As I've said, I actually think the best books I've written are the young adult books. I really like the Maximum Ride series. I love Witch and Wizard. And I have a new series coming next year, which I think is, Little Brown thinks it's the best thing I've done. It's called Middle School. I got this notion, not the title, but the idea from Jack. Kids take things a little seriously, The title of this, and it's a pretty comic book with illustrations. Middle School, the worst years of my life.
Do you like to read or do you just like to write?
I both. I'm a big reader. I'm not as big a reader as I used to be. I used to read about 150 books a year. Now I'm down to maybe 60 or so.
What's your favorite genre to read?
This guy is good. He's like right at the David Frost level already. I like a lot of different kinds. I read a lot of nonfiction. I read a lot of political books. I like to read what the right has to say. I like to read what the left has to say. Some biographical stuff. There's a novel, Matterhorn, recently that I thought was spectacularly good. I'm not a big war novel person, but it's a wonderful, wonderful book. I read a lot of fiction. I read some young adult stuff. I'm always curious about why something is working. We just went to Eat, Pray, and Love. Sue had read the book, my wife, and I was just curious about what the phenomenon was. The fascinating thing, I think the ending for us for the movie, we went out to the parking lot at the Hawthorne Theater, and I look over there, it's like 9:30 at night on Sunday, and our car is up on a jack, and somebody has taken the front tire. So that was, I didn't like the ending of it. Be careful at those movie theaters.
Where do you get the idea for characters in your book?
I don't know exactly. I'll have some kind of an idea, and then I just keep taking notes on the character, making them more interesting and rounding them. And then I will write an outline, and sometimes in writing the outline, I have even more ideas about the character. And one of the nice things about writing a series, the kind of books that I write, they're so